Sunday night. Welcome to the first official, new rebranded Call to Action Live. Really nothing much has changed except for we aren't really that much of a podcast per se. We're more of a live show, so we thought we should properly label ourselves. So here we are.
I want to be a podcast a little bit more. You do want to do audio only stuff.
Yes, but until that day comes, this is our version of live. So we are here to talk about the awards. It's kind of a big deal to us. I don't know if you're aware of that, but we've been kind of obsessed with it for a good year. And so we are excited to get to not only go to the awards, but talk about the awards. So I have this amazing panel right now. To you guys' right is the lovely Mac Daddy. How are you doing?
I'm spiffy. How are you?
I'm doing good. It looks like I'm a bit echoey. Okay, well, anyway,
I just noticed it. Yeah.
I'll fix it. But I'm so excited to get to talk to you about this tonight. Is there a certain thing you're excited to talk about?
Well, I'm really honored that we were able to vote. We were able to vote Andrew Ghai as #1 personality in Schmoedown. So that was pretty awesome with Take 3. So that's pretty dope. But yeah, I'm really excited to talk about the draft. I'm pretty excited to talk about how we're just getting mentally and physically prepared for the award show / draft coming up. So there's so much stuff going on. So I'm pretty psyched.
Absolutely. And right below Mac Daddy, we have James Spence. How are you doing? Are you excited for this?
Oh, I didn't think I was next. I'm really glad Joker lost. I really wish Adam Driver had won more.
I haven't finished the Globes yet.
Spoiler for the Globes.
I have been recording for this.
I didn't say what won. I just said what lost. Hey guys, I ruined everything.
Oh my gosh, this whole thing is ruined. Oh, all right. And to James's left, we have Jenny Joy. Danielle, I'm so excited to have you. How are you doing?
I'm doing fine. I'm doing great. Happy Sunday, y'all. Oh, it always feels good to say happy Sunday. I can't wait till I get to say happy Monday. Yay. I'm doing good, Kelsey. Thank you so much for having me on Call Live. This is going to be fun. Yes, we can call ourselves a live show because we are going live.
Are any of our shows not live, really?
Well, no comment.
Okay, we'll put live at the end of all of our shows. Schmoedown live. Ladies' night live.
Live.
All right.
Barely alive.
All right. Well, we have a lot to fit into this episode, so let's get started. We are going to talk about all the categories and nominees for the amazing awards, and we're going to not only predict, but maybe just say, even if we don't think someone's going to win, we're going to say why we think they should win. We're just going to talk about it. So, James, do you have that list for us this evening?
I did, and my computer deleted it, so let's do a little bit of digging. In the meantime, Golden Globes.
Yeah, I haven't seen it yet.
I might actually be able to pull it up really quickly.
I think this is it. Sign up if I'm lagging. My computer sucks. Please get me a new one. All right, here I have the list. So the first award we have is Best Entrance by an Individual. It is Greg Alba for the Free For All with The Star Is Born. It is Jeff Snyder for the Free For All for his Bear Jew entrance. John Roca's Sick Game at Spectacular. Andrew DiMolanta for his X-Wing against Laura Kelly. Rachel Cushing in San Diego. And Bibiani with Love Actually versus Chance.
This is a stacked category. I'm not gonna lie, when I was looking at it, it's probably one of the ones I stared at the longest. Because I just Andrew DiMolanta is just a new level of commitment to an entrance. He made literal a CGI scene of him in an X-Wing flying to the event. When I watched that, I'm like, well, there's definitely a super contender for entrance of the year. So what did you guys think?
I thought it was pretty solid. Oh, sorry. Go ahead, James.
No, go ahead.
We are talking about. Okay, so we're talking about DiMolanta.
Well, we're talking about entrance.
Yes, with his entrance of the year.
That's the one I brought up. You could talk about. We're just talking about.
Honestly, I really enjoyed it, but the one I keep referring to and the one I keep loving so much more every time I think about it is Greg Alba. I mean,
It was so
I don't care about the Star is Born movie all that much. I don't care about the songs. I don't care about Gaga. I don't care about. I didn't care about Bradley Cooper. I don't care about their chemistry or any of it. I do not care about Shallows. But that impression,
it was so good.
Was wonderful.
Genuinely, it probably is Greg's to lose. I'm still weird about Bibiani against Chance getting in because it never really seemed super interesting to me. I preferred his Price is Right entrance in the triple threat. But yeah, I think Greg has it locked in. Andrew was a very good second chance. Mm-hmm. But when it comes to exposure and like what really made like that iconic impact, I don't think anyone can touch Greg.
It was definitely one of the big takeaways of the entire free-for-all, aside from Bibs start to finish nearly.
Yeah.
Kind of thing. And Merle's win, of course. It was the third biggest moment of the entire thing. His like 2-minute involvement.
I do think Greg Albus is probably the better one out of all of them. It was definitely the best entrance from the free for all. That's my pick to win it. Absolutely, the Greg Alba entrance.
It's going to be hard to beat. I don't know if we're talking about who we voted for, but I voted for Alba because it was just how can you beat that? It was just so amazing. All right, next category.
Next category is best entrance by teams. First one is Crimson Fury, where Tim Franco was revealed as the mystery partner. Shire Wolves with the Thelma and Louise entrance. The Looney Bins debut. Shazam pretending they're announcers. And Scream Queens killing Sam Levine versus the Odd Couple. I feel like there's only one right answer here. Like, the rest really don't stand up to Shazam's entrance. I think it was Christian who was complaining on SEN Live or something like, oh, it went too long. It was maybe my favorite entrance of all time. It's definitely up there, and it's really unique to the game. Like, I don't think anything really compares to what they did that day.
No, absolutely. It was amazing to watch. I love it when it's like, I love entrances where people just walk in, music plays, and they have a cool outfit, stuff like that. But when there's like editing involved or graphics, like the electricity and things that happen, it just brings an entrance to a whole new level for us, the audience at home. And maybe not so much as the studio because they don't get to see that, but for us, for sure. And that one is the epitome of just, it played so well to us on YouTube watching it that I loved that one for sure. Any other standouts or opinions on entrance teams?
I did really like the Shire Wolves entrance, but only because I'm a sucker for the Shire Wolves. So that Thelma and Louise entrance was a lot of fun, but Bibiani's entrances, he works so hard on them. He does such a great job on them, and I do think that that's definitely, it's so funny. That one was hilarious to watch. Just watching them behind the desk, it was neat. So for that one, to be the entrance that was nominated as opposed to all of the other ones that were there was really great. So I like that one as well.
Yeah, I totally agree. I mean, they're all wonderful. I mean, if Bibbs were to get an entrance, I feel like he should be nominated. He gets nominated every year, but he never actually gets it, which is kind of funny. Also, I do feel it's kind of funny that I honestly can't remember that one at all. I don't.
We reacted on it together. How dare you?
I know, I do. But I mean, like, he does a lot of really good ones. I'm sure I loved it. I just can't remember off the top of my head. However, I do thoroughly remember Thelma and Louise. But I love it was a direct reaction to everything that was going on, the stupid shit that was going on online at the time. And the Shire Wolves were like, you know what? Fuck you guys. We are above this. You guys are assholes. We're going to take this and we're going to go at it our own way. We're going to react to it our own way. And I love and respect that 1,000,000%. But it's also with one of my favorite teams of all time. So
I do want to give a little bit of love to the Scream Queens. Because even, like, I look back on the Throwdown where it was.
I remember that one.
I forgot the match was there just because, Odd Couple was going to win. But, like, I love the entrance when I think back on it. Because it's just Sam Levine got the limelight, which hasn't happened in a bit. Scream Queens really made a name for themselves because everyone sort of, like, forgets they exist every now and then. And I just loved, like, it felt like them. And, like, they provided their voice, which hasn't really been heard. It was just a really fun time.
Absolutely. All right, next category.
Next one is Inner Geekdom / Star Wars Player of the Year is Kevin Smets. All right, what do you guys think?
Who are the rest of the nominees?
Okay. Mike Kalinowski, Rachel Cushing, Alex Damon, and Chandru. Yeah, so why is Kevin Smets winning this?
It's actually
I love Mike.
Hot
I'm
take.
sorry, Chandru. I love Mike. I love Chandru. Alex, I'm sure, is a great dude. I've never really talked to him. I think it's Rachel last nominee.
Mhm.
Yeah, Rachel's not last nominee.
Mhm.
It's Smets' to win. I'm sorry. He lost to Mike on a flub. And every other match besides Chandru was a knockout. The man is a dominant force, and honestly, beating him is looking pretty hard. Other than Robert Parker, it's pretty unlikely. I think this man, I don't think there's any way he loses.
I think record-wise, I'm pretty sure Kevin Smets has the best record out of all of the other nominees. So if anyone wants to look at it from that standpoint, someone's record can definitely make them the best in their category. Not only that, he has the belt right now, regardless if Rachel and Mike have held this belt during the same year. So I think this is one of those categories where a lot of people are going to pick with feelings and who they personally feel like is their favorite player of it. Because I think if you just look at it straight down on stats, then Kevin Smets is definitely the Inner Geekdom Player of the Year. It's a bummer that Star Wars kind of has to be put into the same category. Hopefully next year, Star Wars and Inner Geekdom will be in separate categories, because you cannot shy on Alex Damon. Alex Damon wrecked it. Wait, I might be completely wrong on that. Alex Damon might have the better record than Kevin Smets.
So
I don't know that 100%. I'm not a stats person, but I don't know that 100%.
With like a 90% accuracy rate, I believe. Damon is 2-0. I think like around 95.
So, whatever percentages you want to break up from that it is what it is. So it's between those two players. If it was a Star Wars category, then it's definitely going to go to Alex Damon. There's no question about it. He totally wrecked this league. But like I said, again, I think people are going to vote in this category with their feelings and who they feel is their favorite competitor inside of this specific category.
Oh, absolutely. I definitely see that. Who's your favorite player might play a lot into it. Like I do think Smets has it, but it could also be an upset because Rachel has her very loyal fan base. So does Mike. People love these characters. And even though they may not currently have the belt, maybe they're still tugging on their heartstrings a little bit during the voting process. But I still think it's definitely Kevin's award this year, because he's got the belt. We have recency bias as well. And even though other great competitors have had the belt this year, he has it right now. And he is on people's minds because it's spectacular. So I think he has it. But I'm interested to see what happens.
I definitely think, personally, I think Smets should definitely win this one for sure. Damon, definitely, I feel like he's a standalone. I don't feel like he does enough Star Wars matches to really say he's in the same league as Smets. It's just he does 1 or 2 matches a year. That's all. And I'm not to take away from the fact that he is a belt holder. It's just he doesn't play as often. He doesn't have as many matches overall. Therefore, he doesn't have as many opportunities to lose either. So it's every time he plays, it's a contenders match. I mean, it's a belt match. But also, I mean, I do think Smets should win Inner Geekdom Player of the Year, because I think Kalinowski would be Player of the Year.
Ooh, we'll get there.
Yeah, we get that later.
Talk about.
Yeah.
The real winner would be Ghai, but that's a whole other conversation.
Yeah.
All right. Next category is Upset of the Year. Mark Riley versus Stacey Howard. Looney Bin versus Time Machine. Oyama versus Merle. Odd Couple versus Shire Wolves. And Crimson Fury versus Loose Cannons. I think Stacey Howard takes it. As much as I love Looney Bin, everyone else I think is close. It's an upset, but is it by much? Stacey Howard literally broke pretty much everyone's brackets. I think she was in like 5% win rate according to fans, maybe.
Yeah,
We
no,
didn't shame on everyone who had that on their bracket because Stacey Howard has done this before. I believe it was Alex who said that earlier in the day that Stacey Howard has done this to people before. It's expected almost for her. It's almost
it's
like a gimmick.
expected to have an upset.
Yeah,
That
Stacey
makes
Howard,
it not an upset.
right.
If people
So-
expect her to win, that doesn't make it an upset. So it's contradictory.
Well, it's like
So
people
you
expect
either
her to
do
win.
expect it, or you either expect her to win or you don't.
Well, it's like they know she does upsets, but they still don't put her on the bracket. The bracket's what they're setting their bet on. Like, you get a prize out of it. That's what they're like, this is what's gonna happen. Even though as soon as it happens, you're like, why didn't I call this last time? Like, it keeps happening. That's why I think she has it no matter what, whether it is against Mark or if it's against the loose cannons, because she did it twice.
Also, all the other matches,
this season, I mean, just twice this season.
the other team matches, though, they weren't to me true upsets. Loose cannons against who? To me, they were very similar. I was like, either one of it. One doesn't seem particularly higher than the other. Same for Looney Bin. I was like, this is pretty curious, but Tom, I mean, hello. And Video Drew, I already knew she was like bombastic right out the gate. So, I mean, like, it didn't feel like any of them felt like a real upset. Stacey Howard versus Mark Riley, that felt like a real upset where people everywhere were like, oh, fuck. That's an upset.
Well, my opinion on that, I really do think that Looney Bin versus Time Machine is the biggest upset in this because Ethan Irwin and Janine are powerhouses in this league, and this is Looney Bin's first season coming in there. So tournament play is one thing. Going into a tournament is a big deal, and there's a lot of pressure behind it, I'm sure. And I think that there are a lot of people that definitely had Looney Bin and Time Machine, or I'm sorry, Ethan Irwin and Janine going all the way to the semifinals. I had them going all the way on that side of the bracket because that's a powerhouse team right there. They work very well with each other. They're great teammates. They have very different strengths, and we've seen them work together. And we hadn't really seen at that point what Looney Bin was doing. It was after that match that we really started to pay attention to what Looney Bin was doing. And that's why, in my opinion, that's the upset of the year.
Totally, I can see that.
You're wrong, but okay.
Yeah. I think
Usually am.
Friend of the show, Robert Parker, brings up a good point. We sort of just skipped over Odd Couple versus Shire Wolves, which I think it's like maybe the second biggest upset. The other three I don't think are an upset at all. It's about like 51-49.
Yeah, they're too close to me.
Again, I think Shire Wolves are the greatest team of all time, hands down, no arguments. Odd Couple beating them was not expected. Even nowadays, I feel like Odd Couple are somewhat brushed under the rug by fans as like, oh, they're a great team, and there's no like fervent love or push for them.
Yes,
that's a pretty good upset. I still think Stacey Howard takes it, but it's not to be taken out of consideration.
For sure.
I'm surprised one big match wasn't nominated. The family versus Who's the Boss.
No, it's totally fine.
What an upset.
That.
Family won. We all expected that.
We were 6-0.
No, we won. No, we knew, but no one else knew.
Because they're idiots.
Everyone always talks about, oh yeah, McQueenie. He's like the only like big part of that one. He's the only he's the reason, and I can understand that, but you're wrong. But everyone else that I talked to online assumed that they were gonna lose. Everyone I talked to, everyone in my fantasy leagues, everyone in the different reactors groups, whole bunch of people that I knew in like the generals chats, those traitors. They were like, no offense, Drew. No offense, Drew and Drew, but come on, you're going up against Who's the Boss. Obviously, they're gonna win. And Drew and like McQueenie and Drew are like, okay, guys.
It wasn't an upset. It was disrespect. All right, no one respected Andrew Ghai. 5-0 versus I think they were like 6-2 or whatever at that point.
6-1.
Yeah, it wasn't an upset.
No, their record is 6-1 right now.
No. I mean, Who's the Boss?
Oh,
at that point in the match, I believe they're They're very similar in terms of like win rate, accuracy rate, all that. The reason they were so undersold was not because they weren't better teams or wasn't an upset. You disrespect the guy. That is where you fail.
No one expected it.
Nope.
No one. Everyone assumed. I mean, do you look at those polls that people posted online?
I
Well,
have
that's
the
what I'm saying.
family on my bracket, so if you didn't have the family going all the way on your bracket, shame on you.
I blame
the family was
everyone
going to
on
the finals, and I knew it since day one.
Thank you.
Not an upset. But Looney Bin should have been there, but they missed Resident Evil. That's a different issue.
I ended up going from like 4th place to 2nd place in my fantasy league because of the family. I was like,
came in 4th. Because Paul rigs stuff. He doesn't actually. I just hate him. All right. So, and the most important award, podcast after show of the year. Should we talk about it, or should we?
Who do
just
we think's gonna win that one?
I wonder.
I do think we should talk
It could
about
honestly be idiot.
I should be wearing my
we
shirt
should
right
talk
now.
about it for a quick second. Obviously, it's the podcast after show of the year award.
Yeah.
the Rundown Award.
No, it's not
The
called
Rundown Award,
Rundown
apparently.
How dare you, Alex?
You know what? I'd be okay with that.
I wouldn't.
I
If
have
Frank disrespects
tremendous respect for Brad Gilmore and Frank Janish for everything they did. They were like one of the first really great after shows.
I have tremendous respect for Brad Gilmore. I think he puts on a great show. He just runs that ship like a boat. Great time. And yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
All right,
Okay.
well, go for it, Kelsey.
I was
Let me
gonna
go
say,
back.
I would like to say something about the boat, the bitchiest of all time. We will have you on Chill probably when we're ready to have you on Chill.
Can you make that statement, Kelsey?
Here's some I
We
said.
watch Schmoebates. If you want to go on Schmoebates, that's up to you and Alex. But don't put us under the rug saying it's our fault that you aren't entertaining enough to be on our channel.
For the record, I'm glad I went last because for the record, Brad Gilmore, I have asked you to be on Chill to Action. I've asked you a couple of times to be on Chill to Action. I'm only upset that you would just vote against your Texas homie and do that. That's my thing about it. But yes, I'm gonna go back to what Alex was saying. You cannot deny what the Rundown has been doing for so long, because the Rundown is a big part of why we all do what we all do. The Rundown is one of the founding fathers of the after show reaction things like
Yay,
that.
founding fathers. Love me for the love of God.
See what I did there?
Wow, that's desperate. That's real desperate.
That's pretty sad, James.
Made you a banner.
I'm really quick back on that Rundown. Whatever, guys, y'all are doing a wonderful job. No one can deny that. And yes, the Action Army does only listen to your podcast whenever you talk about us. So if you want more views and listens on that, make sure to talk about us a little bit more.
Yeah. Well, just so we don't skim through the nominees, we have Take 3, John Movies, Albert, Abby Friel's Twitter reactions, D2A, and of course, us. And I will say personally, like, we've talked in our group chat a lot about who we think would win. Like, how do I phrase this without coming off like a douchebag? Aside from us, who we think would win, who we would like to win, we've had this discussion many, many times.
Abby.
Yeah.
Abby.
As an actual friend of mine, I would love Abby to win this. I think if we don't win this, I think she's the person who deserves it the most, because I know how hard she works on this. And that's only because I know how hard she worked on this. This isn't to take away from anything Doug or Malcolm or Kristen or Matt do at Take 3. This isn't to take away from what Albert does. This isn't to take away from Doman and Case and Nico on D2A.
I actually shouldn't have said anything, because tomorrow, everyone on Chill to Action.
Fight to death.
Now it's gonna be an awkward episode.
For this specific award on Chill to Action, bringing you some of the best content, Schmoedown content out there. But tomorrow night, we do have the nominees for this award. So Albert will be on, Abby will be on, Chris Doman from D2A will be on, and Kristen Smith from Take 3 will be on. So please come and check us out for that.
Yeah. And also hashtag justice for cinema fanatics.
Oh, and
really
hashtag justice for JTH.
Okay.
Hey,
Okay.
seriously.
Yeah.
I am starting my campaign now. 2020 Schmoedown Awards. JTH will win it.
Would
For the love
you
of God.
would you willingly omit a nomination of us for JTH?
You know what? I think JTH has been doing this for a lot longer than we have. And JTH
Let's say it's. I love that. I honestly would. I don't like the idea of giving someone a award or being nominated award just because you know how hard they work. Like I feel like they have to have like good content and everything. That's have to be part of it. And I feel like they do. I feel like they do he does deserve to be nominated. I was very surprised he wasn't technically nominated.
Yeah.
Because he deserves to be up there.
But I mean, it's the same thing with the Cinefanatics, because the Cinefanatics a whole bunch of really good stuff. And I feel like this is the one category where we can talk about for a little bit, because this is technically our whole life, whatever it is. We put a lot of time and effort into it, just as the same way as JTH does, just the same way that Cinefanatics do. Merc with the movie blog, the SEN after show live stuff. Like everyone who puts in all of this specific content that was not nominated for this is just... It's not like they're doing any less than what we're doing. We're all out there putting all of ourselves inside of this, and it was really fun to see all of the reactors kind of turn against Brad when Brad made that comment on the rundown, because we know how much we all put into this, and the effort that we put into this, and honestly, really, y'all, the sacrifices that we've done. I know all of our personal sacrifices to do this, to fucking be here right now. It's a part of our lives in a different sort of way, and we take a lot of pride into it, and it's an honor to be nominated. Really, truly, it really is. And that does not, absolutely, the nomination does not, or a win does not take away from anything that anyone else inside of this atmosphere does, because every single person who puts any sort of bit into it is amazing and is great and puts all of their heart and soul and their effort into it. So hats off to everyone in this community that does any sort of reacting with it. 100%.
I do want to say a small note. Eric in the chat saying that Albert is retiring from reactions next season. I didn't know that. I would like to know more because he's a good friend of mine. I want to make sure he's okay and everything. But also, hashtag hot cakes. Sorry, Dylan. Should we really be nominating us against each other? Because we're all friends in the community. We've all cultivated a smaller family. Should we just reward the people who stand out rather than have a competition to see who's the best?
Well, how would you reward someone without there being some sort of competition?
No nominations. Just have them pick someone. And if they're like pick them for like their remarkable achievements. Have it be like the Cinefanatics for their reaction of Only Stupid Answer versus the Family. That was amazing. Have it be us for like our Video Drew content, the Christian Harloff interview, anything like that. Have it be Abby for her mock draft, which I was on, which was amazing. D2A for their Kaiser interview, which was great. Take Three's Bibiani interview was great. Everyone had these phenomenal pieces of content. Reward them. Don't put us in competition against each other, because we really do care. Like we want to support each other.
Yeah.
And then now it's getting very violent.
I don't necessarily see that it's getting violent. I haven't seen anything like that. I think that we've all been super supportive. That's one of the main reasons why we're having everyone on Chill, to show the support that this community has for each other. So I think it's a part of the Schmoedown thing. And if they want to change it into your idea, then you know what, fucking go for it. But I don't see a lack of support in this community at all.
No.
Yeah. Sorry, Kelsey, you go ahead.
I was just say, like, I agree. I love this community, not just the Schmoedown community, but the reactor community. We are a family. I know if any single person on that ballot wins, I will be happy. And I mean, of course, we'll all be disappointed if we don't win, but I will be happy for who won, because they legitimately deserve it. And I think that's pretty cool that we all work so hard because we all love the same thing, and it's a family, and it's pretty awesome.
Yeah. Right. On moving away from this, I guess. Next nominations are for Manager of the Year. We have Kaiser, Dagnino, Stryer, Jay Washington, Knapsack, and Grace.
I'm sorry. Is this really a competition though? This one?
No, unfortunately, it's not. Dagnino, I think, destroys it. I think Kaiser has a really big push if you don't have that recency bias.
This is a solid push. Roxy used to have a really solid push. I love Roxy.
She has one belt.
Yeah, she's.
Okay, I mean, if you're going by belts, where does RMB stand in that then?
He doesn't.
Exactly. So why is he your pick?
He's not.
Oh, I thought you said the R&B.
Oh, no. So I said I think that Dagnino has it on lock. There's an argument for Kaiser. Jay's out and R&B's out, unfortunately.
Okay, I don't know why I thought I heard you say
Yeah.
R&B was your pick, and I was like, what?
No. He's a traitor. Grayson Ken, I think, has a good argument, but I don't think they have the push for it. And then Roxy only has 1 belt compared to the 2 or 3 everyone else has. I think they're out.
Snaps
girl.
Snaps Rabby.
Yeah. I think a vote for Dagnino is recency bias. I think Kaiser has more going on because of the heights that Smets and Oyama were at. But also with Dagnino, you have 2 dominant teams rather than 1 okay team.
You're not wrong. And singles players as well. They don't have an IG player, so I'm really, really curious about who their IG pick is. Mm-hmm. Something tells me it's going to be Alex Damon, but as well as Damerl, obviously.
I don't think they'll allow him to get all the belts though. Like that would.
Can you imagine? Well, I know that's the goal, right? Yeah. Ideally,
all the belts that's John Roca's like perfect dream.
Yeah.
Oh yes, all the belts, mantra. Everything I have. And Alex like, please, like
all the belts, all the records, yo.
Yeah.
That's right. I wish I would have gotten that shirt. There's that one Ghai Fox mask cowboy hat shirt where it's got that all the belts, all the records in it, and I wish I would have gotten that shirt when I had the chance. And
then Mike crushed it between his hands. Yeah, I love that part.
That was when I was a John Roca fan.
I know.
I'm still a John Roca fan.
Yeah.
I used to be a massive Roca fan. He was like the competitor that really turned me into a big Schmoedown fan in general. Yeah. And then I saw like team action, and then I was like,
yeah,
I want them all. And then I became frantic.
Our community who have been here since the early Schmoedown days is, oh, I love John Roca. Fuck Roca. Andrew Ghai. That's kind of what
happened. It's like, yeah, we got to see Ghai, and then here we are.
I mean, I do just going back to the managers though. We do need to talk about Kaiser just a little bit more.
Yeah.
Jillian Marie, I know she's definitely on point when she says, I wouldn't say it's a lot. Kaiser's very strong chance.
Mm-hmm. True.
Speaking, yeah. So
yeah. I think on paper, like if you're asking me who I would vote for, I think Kaiser has a very good second chance. If I'm predicting, I think he has 0 chance at winning because fans have a tendency to have recency bias. While Kaiser has 2 6-1 players who have phenomenal accuracy rates, Dagnino has 2 belts in his faction. Every player has been playing phenomenally this season besides maybe Mark Riley. And even then, that's an argument to make that he's just had great and just underperformed a couple matches. Exactly. I think Dagnino has it on lock. I don't think there's a way Kaiser wins it. I think as a fan making an argument, there is an argument to be made. As a winner, not there.
Kaiser did have it pretty solid for 3/4 of the year.
It's true.
So I can definitely see it going either way. Mm-hmm. If I had to bet on it, I'd bet Dagnino. But so.
Yeah, you're probably talking about what I'm going to talk about, James. Are you talking about what Nerd Chronic said in the chat?
Yeah. Oh my God.
Let's pull that up.
I can't wait for Logan too, y'all. It's gonna be great.
I'm so excited.
Yeah. I mean, that's gonna be really cool. Literally what I just said, guys. Come on.
No, that's
literally what I just said.
That's gonna be good because we're just paying attention to the chat. Sorry. Literally,
I see how it is. Literally just said it, but whatever. What
did you put it on screen?
Yeah,
no. It's not on our phones, Alex. It's not on our phones.
That's fair.
Anyways, someone asked me in the chat if I'm going to be in Houston in February, and I have no idea what's going on with Schmoedown.
Houston's not in February. That's Atlanta.
That's Atlanta. I will more than likely be in Houston in February because my job makes me go to Houston every month. So I'll probably be there someday.
You'll be able to put the Cinefanatics getting drunk and watching.
They're in Austin.
My place too. Are they?
But I will be in Austin in May.
Very cool. All right.
Yeah, but yeah.
All right. Next category.
Next category is Babyface Team of the Year. You have Shazam, Shirewolves, Wildberries, Founding Fathers, and Paddington 2.
This is a pretty stacked category, in my opinion. I I know who I voted for.
I know
Yeah.
who I voted for.
I know who I voted for.
Who I voted for.
I'm glad we all know who we voted
All right.
for.
Everyone, go ahead and hit it.
I'm not going to say who I voted
No.
for, but I do want to talk about the teams that are, you know what? I might say who I voted for.
I can't say who I voted for. I have to scream it.
All right. James, you go first.
Shazam! Because it's
Yeah.
again.
There's an
To me, it's
exclamation point.
yeah, no, exactly. What embodies a baby face, and that is Shazam. I think Shire Wolves are great baby faces. I think Paddington 2 are great baby faces. Founding Fathers, Wildberries, I think are more like tweeners. But I think that Shazam are the baby face team.
Mhm.
Like they are the nicest like team to face. Even like the Spectacular, like even though like we all knew that John Roker was coming out, or at least everyone on the stage knew. Bibiani just straight up said, "I don't want to play this match of Roke if John isn't here." Like that is so nice. They're such nice people.
Yep, absolutely. Yep, that's who I voted for too. I feel like Shazam is like the epitome of a face team. They are just the nicest, funniest, sweetest guys. Like getting to meet them and talk to them in the expo was so great, and I adore them. And yeah, I had to vote for Shazam. Shazam!
I don't think Alex likes
Yes,
that.
Alex.
Yeah.
No, Danny, you should go.
I'll go first. All right. So my vote for this was the Shire Wolves. I voted for the Shire Wolves on this because I understand exactly what you're saying about Shazam being the babyface team of the year and all of that stuff. But I am one of those voters who votes with feelings. I use my heart instead of my brain whenever I vote. So I went with the team that I would love to see win every single award that they're nominated for, and that's the Shire Wolves. Spoiler alert for any category that I voted for.
I don't blame you.
Sorry.
We are women after all. We rule with our hearts.
We are women, yes.
You know what? And that's also another thing. I know that I feel like a lot of people will vote in that sort of direction where they feel like a lot of people are going to strategically vote for this specific team. So instead of me voting for that team, I'm going to go ahead and give my vote to someone else. And that's what I did in this category because I do believe that most people will vote for Shazam in this. But I voted for Shire Wolves because they have my heart. They have been my favorite team to watch inside of the league. Those two women are amazing and great. And I think that they are good guys. They are the epitome of what one would strive to be inside of the Schmoedown as an overall player, not just as a character. That doesn't take away anything from Bibbs or Brendan Meyer. They are both wonderful people outside of it. Truly, they really are. But that the strength that the Shire Wolves have shown throughout this year has been amazing. And that's why I voted for them.
Yeah, I absolutely agree that they have some of the best. I know we chatted previously. I mean, like they have some of the best. They have had some of the best moments in all of Schmoedown history, all in the space of like a handful of months. I mean, between We Are the League, Who Run the World Girls, everything. It's wonderful. It's cry-worthy, at least for me it was. I didn't vote for either one of those.
Who'd you vote
Although
for,
I kind of feel like I should have voted for Shire Wolves though. But I was trying to think of one of the most face things to ever happen. In all of Schmoedown history, I too went voted with my heart, and I voted for Face Team of the Year to be Paddington 2.
Yeah,
That is a good choice.
No,
it is the most face thing they ever did. They were like, no, we're about to walk away with this win, moving on to almost being considered for a belt. And they were like, nah, bro.
Oh, God. I think we're wrong.
I think you're right.
even though they were
wrong. And these two dudes, fucking A, they're wonderful. And when we talk about, Shazam being wonderful and how warm and fantastic they are, how they are in people as people, but also, on screen and everything in between, that just really solidified it. I mean, like, regardless of if you're an Army fan, we all were like, Mad Atchity Army for a hot minute
right?
there. It was
Hashtag Marmalade
fantastic.
Army was trending in the group for a couple days. That's how impactful that one moment was.
It's true.
It was
100%,
so wonderful. And it was like one of those moments, like, regardless if you're in the Army or not, regardless of what side or whatever it may be, and everyone you were like, oh my gosh, this was such a really great moment. But also, looking back, technically speaking, and even Christian said it, that should have never happened. If Roxy was there, if that was her team or something, she would have been like, shut your mouth.
Yeah.
You know, but they were just so fucking face. They were so honest. They had to be so fucking nice about it. They had to give it up their win.
No argument there. Really liked it.
All right.
All right.
Next category.
As you can probably guess, next one is heel team of the year.
And I
Win.
wonder who we think's gonna win that.
That might shock you. Corruption, The Family, Crimson Fury, Odd Couple, and Movie Guys. Movie Guys do not belong here.
They consider themselves a heel team. Christian considers them a heel team. They're a heel team.
Okay. But
Paul Preston described it
People in
himself
real
as a heel team.
if they're heels, you want to
definitely
boo
fall
them.
into this category of heel, and I think that they did it right. I think it was fun to watch their banter. It might not be the nasty, ugly heel that I know that we all voted for because we love them so very much, but it is a different sort of heel in a way that is fun to watch, and it was really nice to see them as a team come together and do the type of things that they were doing. The powder keg was my hit. I thought that was hilarious.
The only way is whey protein.
And I was able to, when we were over in LA, I was able to take some, and he's like, can I toss some powder? And he was like, yes. He gave me a whole thing of like, it wasn't real. At that point, they were just like, yeah, we just get a whole bunch of flour at this point.
Yeah.
It's like, just throw it. I was like, ah!
And if you don't think LeBron James is a heel in the NBA, you're lying to yourself.
Yeah. Where am I in this heel of the year conversation? Come on.
We'll talk.
Okay, so if I had to go by predictions, and because I know you guys can dig into The Family, you guys, and they're amazing and everything, I think Corruption wins this for one reason alone, and it's that they beat the Shire Wolves. And it's not like, oh, they beat a face team. They won a belt. They are the best performing team of the year, and for that, I think they win
Are
this. They are. Or best performing heel team, sorry.
Over Corruption?
No, I'm saying Corruption, I think, is the best performing heel team of the year. Because they've won the belt and because they've played amazing games. I think they have this, but I'm not going to be unhappy the Family gets it. I voted for the Family. I think Corruption might take it. Just devil's advocate, because I know we're going to dig into the Family and how amazing they are and everything they do.
Ooh.
Yeah, well, I mean, I love me some Corruption. Like, as I pointed out many times, I'm the one in this group that owns the Corruption shirt because I love Corruption so much. But I voted for the Family. I voted for the Family.
What?
Yeah, very obviously. I voted for the Family as well. Why would I not vote for Andrew Ghai in any heel category ever?
It's Andrew Ghai or you're wrong. It's that simple.
It's Andrew Ghai or you're wrong. That is
exactly. Thank you very much. That's the correct answer, everyone. And it is what it is. I mean, I think that, like I said earlier, yes, Paul, I do have feelings. I think everyone knows I have all the feelings. And this was also one of those categories that I just voted with my feelings on. And I do, and not even just on that, I do think that Andrew Ghai is a great heel, and I think that a lot of people will put Corruption over Family, absolutely 100%, because both Chance Ellison and I'm sorry.
Corruption is not a heel team. Leather jackets and sunglasses do not make you a heel, especially when you cry every time you win a match.
They don't make you a heel. They make
You
you.
wouldn't cry winning a belt match, okay? Hannah,
I'd cry.
you inevitably win an IG belt. You are gonna bawl your fucking eyes out, and we're gonna be there to support you because you fucking deserved it, and you're gonna fucking cry so many tears. And it's going to be a beautiful moment.
I don't have to watch Daredevil anymore.
That's the real reason everyone's
Play Trinity.
Just put him burning his copy of R.I.P.D. just throwing it in the fire.
Brandon had a never breaking kayfabe.
What's kayfabe? I thought he was just like a murderer. Isn't that what he does?
Just saying,
No.
Guy is not a face. He is a very passionate.
He's a tweener at best right now.
You have feelings about this.
Yes.
Andrew Ghai straight up said he's not a face.
That does not make him a face.
Just because he hates one singular person rather than the whole league does not mean he's a face. It means he has a target.
He's
working for being better.
And as the hot man knows, having
a
a target does not make you a face. It makes you a competitive person.
Yes.
He's competitive. Go to New York.
Absolutely. Anyone else have anything to say about heel team of the year?
Nope. I'm ready to move on to the next category.
Looney Bin Rob, they deserve a nomination. I'm not sure if they're heels or faces. They should have been in here somewhere.
They're their own thing.
A face or a heel?
No, we had this conversation earlier. They're this awesome in between that they're
okay. I'm just,
Yeah,
is there another category that I don't know about?
No, unfortunately.
All right. Next category is actually for baby face of the year. It's for Brendan Meyer, Bibiani, Bateman, Merle, and Cushing. Bateman should not be here. It's another category fraud. He's not a face. No face spins away from Spinner's choice. It's just he is an asshole through and through. I don't care what he does. He is a heel deep in his bones, and he's just surrounded by nicer people. And even then, it's Dagnino. Is he even a face?
I do think that Ben Bateman is the standout personality inside of this category to consider. So the thing about these nominees and where they come from is that people voted for this. People pre-voted for the nominees. So people voted for Ben Bateman to be on as a baby face of the year. And I want to say this really quickly. One of the very first years that they started to do this a long time ago on the Schmoedown page, they were listing these categories, and I was like, why isn't Ben Bateman on baby face? Because I didn't understand what faces and heels were at that time. And Christian was like, Ben's not a baby face, or Ben's not a face. And then I had to learn what it was. And now Ben gets to be a face in this category.
He's not a face. Queen or whatever it's called.
I'm a I have to vote for my boys, so I voted for Ben for this category.
Okay, there was one person that was not nominated, and that hurts my soul, and they should have been nominated. Chandra Dhanapani.
Oh, you absolutely.
Why wasn't he on this list?
Yeah,
he is so pure and perfect, and he is wonderful in every way possible. And why wasn't he nominated? If Brendan Meyer's nominated, Chandru deserves to be right up there with him for a baby.
Legitimately, every person in this, besides Bateman, is the epitome of a face. They're the nicest people in this league. Shazam, amazing people. Rachel Cushing, amazing person. Dan Merle, we thought you were going to propose to Mara on stage. He is that sweet of a guy. What is Ben Bateman doing here? Put Chandru in here. He is like our best friend. He's my best friend first, but he's like a friend of the show. He is so nice. Everyone loves him. He dances on stage. He is a face. He's a baby face.
He wears a Chewbacca sweatshirt. Well, like
he cosplays other Schmoedown players.
He was Captain America.
Okay, so
the Hydra for some weird reason.
His version of a baby face is not making little quips at Oyama during the belt match.
Ben is
instead of being like, it was him being like
challenging needlessly just to get in someone's head.
That was him the entire time being like, oh, I can totally do a real quick comeback, but I don't want to do the dishonor to the Horsemen, so I'm going to be quiet, but also look around doing this the entire time.
Yeah, no, I totally get that 100%.
No. But the entire time, his face was like, the entire time, that was his face.
It's true.
All right.
Thank you.
I've got a hot take coming up. You're not wrong, Oscar.
Oscar, a new White Claw convert.
Yeah.
Right here. So Next nominees are for Heel of the Year. And there's really only 2 nominees. But let's go through all 5. We have Andrew Ghai, Robert Meyer Burnett, boo, Mike Kalinowski, Kaiser, and Grace Hancock.
Yeah,
Category Rob. Where is Brandon Hanna? Okay, no one in the entire community dedicates to heel work like Hannah does because he's always in character. I have never seen him not in character. He's wanted to kill me in person.
Yeah, look at him in the chat right now.
Exactly. Brandon, okay.
I kicked him in the leg once. It was great. First time I met him in New York, I was like, motherfucker. And I went and I just straight up attacked him. I felt bad because he was like walking with some of his friends, and I look back and I'm like, I might have been come up a bit too strong. And I'm like, you made me have so many feelings when you wore that 5 shirt. Horseman shirt. How dare you make me have feelings?
In an interview show, he maintained character. He said, fuck challenger rights, and he made an effort, and he was, okay, R&B, sure, whatever. Kaiser, sure, whatever. Grace, sure, whatever. None of them stand out like Brandon the Hot Man Hanna. He is granted, he's not Andrew Ghai, but he's a very strong number 3 this year, and he deserves to be in the consideration.
Amen.
Waiting for that t-shirt.
Retweet.
Why isn't that a t-shirt?
Which
what I want to know.
Brendan
the Hot Man Hanna.
Oh, the Hot Man. Yeah, where is that shirt?
It would be like him, and it's like it would just like would probably be his profile picture.
I think it's pretty obvious who most of us voted for, at least who I voted for in this category. Grace Hancock. Just kidding. I love Grace. Grace was definitely I was super pumped to see her nominated in this category. Grace Hancock is one of my favorite personalities inside of the Schmoedown. She's amazing at what she does. She's always stayed in character. She's always been a heel character the entire time. But I had to go with my guy. I had to.
Kelsey, can you highlight in the chat how Alex's player is an absolute traitor?
Who am I highlighting?
Rick Quinto. I was originally going to vote for Ghai, but then voted for R&B because of the spectacular.
Well, it's very...
Well, that's a strategic choice, and that's my whole point on how people vote for certain things. Some people vote in that certain way because that made the Action Army turn on R&B. We all still hate him right now because of that.
Yeah, that was quite a heel turn. I'm for it.
We booed him for 5 minutes, standing boovation. I'm trademarking that. He got a standing boovation. Horrible.
It was magic.
It was magical.
All right. Next one is new team of the year: Looney Bin, Shazam, Time Machine, The Movie Guys, and The Family. This is harder than it looks.
This is a harder one. It really was.
It's a 2-horse race between Shazam and The Family, unfortunately. But Shazam are 5-1, Family is 6-1. But Shazam has beat The Family. The Family has a better record, so they're like really close. I think if I were to bet, I think Shazam wins this because people like Shazam more than The Family. But I voted for The Family.
I voted for The Family
because it's Andrew Ghai.
Gotta vote for Ghai. Anything else is wrong.
Yeah.
So
I mean, you can't deny the record though as well.
Yep.
I mean, that record, it's technically right now it's like 6-1.
Yeah.
That's nuts for a baby new team. You can technically like knock one of them out. I mean, like for like being misleading or whatever you want to say. When it was The Family versus Bateman and Dagnino, for treachery. But it was a great one. Sorry. Yeah.
But a lot of people in the chat are shouting Looney Bin, so they're not out of the picture.
I don't disagree.
No,
I don't disagree.
Cannot deny what the Looney Bin has done inside of this league. Same thing with Shazam, going all the way into the teen tournament. That's a big deal to do all of that. Looney Bin also being nominated for the biggest upset. Time Machine is a great team together. I truly think so. I had them going all the way in the tournament. And The Movie Guys is so much fun to watch. Absolutely 100%. But The Family, where my loyalty lies. And The Family. My loyalty lies with The Family. Yep.
All right, great.
Absolutely.
Next category is for new team of the year. Oh, never mind. We just did that one. Next category is for Rookie of the Year. Paul Oyama, Kevin Smets, Paul Preston, Brendan Meyer, and Tom.
So a lot of good players in there.
I would say, without argument's sake, it has to be Smets. No disrespect to Oyama, but you look at it, they have the exact same record. Look at who they look at. Okay, I think Oyama's beaten better players, but they have the same accuracy rate about. And in their losses, Oyama lost worse than Smets. Yeah. I think it's basically his category to lose. Oyama has a very good argument, but I don't think he can pull it.
So I very obviously voted for Smets in this category, and my whole thing behind that is like in my personal opinion, even Kevin Smets himself has said that he believes that singles is a harder league than intergeekdom. I personally believe that intergeekdom is a harder league than singles. And even if they do have, Paul and Kevin do have the same record and all of that stuff, and they've done wonderful things. Both of them have had a belt. Kevin has the belt right now. I think
Oyama's had one belt defense though.
Right. He hasn't had it yet, but it'll be amazing to see what happens in New York coming up with him and Mara. That's going to be
exactly 20 days. That's what happens.
It's going to be amazing to see. But this category, it's a stacked category as well, I think. But my vote was for Kevin for it.
Yeah, same. I voted for Kevin. It's his to lose. I could see Paul getting it. I really could, but like I've mentioned earlier, ones recency bias is a thing, and we watched Kevin gloriously win a belt at Spectacular a few weeks ago. So I think that just tips him over the edge, and I think he's going to get it.
Luis in the chat, please explain yourself. I'm very upset.
Because he's a kid hater. I do want to point out something that was said in the chat earlier, just because I do need to point this out. I believe, I can't remember who said it, but it was heel of the year, rookie of the year will be Ben Goddard.
And Smets is a heel.
We don't know yet because he hasn't really come out, and if he comes out as a heel, that would be hilariously entertaining.
Yeah, I mean, I know he doesn't describe himself as a heel in any way.
No,
he's very vocal about that.
I mean, how could he not?
Stealing your bagel, stealing your bitch sounds like
steal your bagel, steal your bitch. Exactly.
It would be so weird if that became like his thing.
It should
be. I need to hear that theme song on the Schmoedown. Absolutely 100%. I hope it gets drafted.
That's gonna be like a walkout song.
Yeah, that's supposed to be. They already said it on SEN, and I hope that actually happens because that would be a lot of fucking fun. But keep going. All right, that's it.
All right. So next thing is for comeback player of the year.
Shuggy, that was who said it. Suge Knight. Every time I see Suge Knight's name in the chat, every time I see it, I say Shuggy. So.
All right. So the nominees for comeback player of the year are Ben Bateman, Jeff Snyder, Dan Murrell, Mike Kalinowski, and Andrew Ghai.
First of all, how
okay. Question. Let's skip it.
I know you guys have all voted already because voting is closed. Andrew Ghai's not a comeback player. The stats they gave you were flat out lies. He didn't go over 4. And you're acting like he didn't have any singles matches last season. You're forgetting Dan versus Ghai. But I think Snyder has this. Ben didn't come back from anything. Dan didn't really because he had that amazing tournament run. Who was the other one? Mike, not really. He still went pretty far in IG and teams. And then
singles.
Not last season.
Oh, okay. Right.
Yeah. I think Jeff has this a lot because he really had a bad season last year. He got screwed in singles other than his win over Mark Riley. Teams, I think he defended it once, but then the Patriots were gone. Odd Couple, I think, lost to Harris Brothers, which is you don't want to admit that. And then this year they won the team titles and he got a singles title shot. That's great for him. That's unheard of for him. Like this is his year. Even if he didn't do much, this was his season. This was his comeback season.
Man, I feel so bad for Harris Brothers. Harris Brothers are so great, or what they were supposed to be. I don't know. But Lon Harris is supremely talented and knowledgeable. but he gets mysterious things happen to him.
The Harris brothers are the most overrated and underrated team. Like, they beat some great people, but they also lost really badly.
It's true.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, if you're going back to Ben, I mean, Ben literally, I mean, like as far as having a lot of situations I went through, he did like go through a table, but also he had really difficult surgery only a few months ago, and he played through it. Well, I'm sure on some drugs at some point, because that is excruciating.
Yeah, his drug regimen was not fun to watch.
Having back surgery is rough. But I mean, he wasn't great last season in particular. I don't remember his stats or anything personally, but I remember thinking he wasn't exactly one of the greater players.
He did pretty good in teams. Like teams went far, but singles.
I know he was very close with Who's the Boss.
Well, no, so in teams, he had the number one contenders match against the Shire Wolves, and they broke up. And Who's the Boss got a title shot. That's pretty good. Granted, his singles was lacking. He got into the tournament, and after that, like the play-in, and then lost to Clark, who went to the semifinals. Not bad. I mean, she went to the finals. One of the two. I forget. It wasn't a bad season last year. I think he has the greatest argument for the second place, but that's still second place. I don't think he can. I don't think it's his. I think Jeff has it.
Fair enough.
Excuse me.
Bless, child. All right.
Gazoon tight.
Next one is for Moment of the Year. You have Ben Bateman winning the singles tourney. Not a moment. Babe's doing the whole free-for-all. Not a moment. John Rocha showing up at the Spectacular. Rachel beating Kalinowski. And Matt Ashley challenging his own win. I think Noah wins here.
I know a lot of people are talking about Rocha for entrance of the year and moment of the year. I know there's like some weird controversy with that. I'm like, I mean, I don't care, honestly.
It was an entrance.
To me, it's more of a moment rather than an entrance, but it doesn't matter. It doesn't really care.
His entrance was showing up.
Exactly. I'm like,
it's a great moment. It's a great moment.
It's a great moment. I agree.
But
yeah.
Sorry.
My moment of the year was Rachel beats Kalinowski to become a double belted champion. That was amazing to watch and amazing to see. I really genuinely had to go with that moment. It was just a great moment to watch overall. I know that there are a few other matches on here that are personal to me, like that actually challenges his own win, and Bateman winning the singles tourney, and the Spectacular in the same night. That was a huge deal. But for me personally, I just had to go with Rachel becoming a double belted champion. That was amazing to see because she works her butt off. And she has to deal with a lot of bullshit that other people don't necessarily have to deal with, whether you like it or not. That's just the truth. And to see her go through everything that she goes through, especially understanding her personal anxiety with a lot of different things and seeing her overcome that and win in that capacity was amazing. So that was my vote.
Again,
I agree with you. I voted the same for every reason.
I don't think Ben winning the singles title is a moment. What you're nominating is the event. Same thing for Viviani.
Over multiple events in the same event.
It was your moment was 2.5 hours. Yeah. That's what that is. Viviani's moment was 3 hours. It's not a moment.
I agree with that.
Yeah.
I get it.
I will say, any of the other three absolutely deserve the win. I won't be mad at any of them win. The other two I do not think belong here.
Well, why is Ben winning the belt not a moment? He was being called Dan Marino of the Schmoedown. I'm so confused by that.
The nomination for him isn't winning the belt. It's winning the tournament and winning the belt. What you're nominating is Spectacular and his 2 matches. That's not a moment. At best, that's 2 moments. And that doesn't belong in the category. But also, Luis in the chat, Makuga Flies in the belt absolutely deserve to be nominated. Great moment.
It's true. All right, ready for the next category?
Yep. Next one is for Match of the Year. Irwin versus Merle in New York, Kalinowski versus Cushing 2 for the Throwdown, Kalinowski versus Smets, Kalinowski versus Cushing in San Diego, Lindyman versus the Time Machine, Corruption versus the Shire Wolves, Corruption versus Founding Fathers, and Shazam versus the Movie Guys. I think Mike Kalinowski wins this.
Yeah, I think I had him winning at San Diego is the one I voted for because that match just and the way it ended, I cried so hard. It was a beautiful moment. I loved that match.
What category is this?
Best
For match of the year.
Match of the year.
For which match was he nominated for?
He was nominated for a few.
He was nominated for 5 of the 8 matches.
Yes.
Yeah, I think without a doubt it goes to the Throwdown match. Personally, I prefer the San Diego one more just because I liked him winning, but also I love the way he reacted to Final Question. I love the crying. I love the dip with Shannon.
I love the dip with Shannon so much. That should have been moment of the year. Oh my god,
That should be moment of the year.
I love that so much.
It was
Genuinely.
that was my vote also, the Kalinowski versus Cushing match at the Throwdown, because it that was just an intense match to watch the entire time. I felt very much on the edge of my seat the entire time, and it was very sweet to watch Mike dip Shannon at the end of it, to watch Mike get that belt. Was amazing, and it was just that was a great match to watch for sure.
Yeah, if you're talking about moment of the year, you can go through that whole finale for using these dumb Ben Bateman, Bibiani free-for-all rules. It's him winning the belt, him dipping Shannon, him crying, his shoot against Inman, and then Mara coming out. That 10-minute span was just perfection.
Okay, if we're gonna talk about just quick little tidbit here. I do feel like we missed out on a little moment during a moment of the year. Ghai barking at Andrew should have been nominated.
It really should have.
And he was like, little. He was like,
wait. Oh, I'm not ready. I didn't watch it. We have the gift and our little brand thing, and I love just looking every now and then. I'm just hosting oh, it's a good time.
Another one would have been remember when Drew, R&B, and the other Drew, both Drews, they were all group hugging together, and then Hannah comes up for the Drew, and he's like, "No, when you win."
You can speak when you win. Or okay, just give it the family. When Brandon Hannah comes out against Who's the Boss and is hobbling on the golf club, again, Brandon Hannah, heel of the year. All right. Next one is for team of the year overall. You have the Shire Wolves, Corruption, and Shazam. Why are there only 3 teams? That's weird. Never mind. No.
And
then Founding Fathers,
Shire Wolves, everyone.
and Odd Couple.
Open and close. Done.
Yeah, Shire Wolves.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The greatest team of all time. Yeah, the record this season I think is 2-3 or 2-2. 2-2. Yeah. They were good. It's hard. I think going on records, you would give it to Corruption, and I think I voted for them. But also, it's Shire Wolves. It's. I don't know.
Shire Wolves.
Ooh, I throw on in the chat. Moment of the year. David B. just entering with Smets playing the guitar.
It reminded me of that guitar riff from Wonder Woman.
Yeah.
Oh god, that was so great.
David B.
Again, entries of the year right there. Another great moment. Yeah. All right, and then we have singles player of the year. Dan Merle, William Bibiani, Ben Bateman, Paul Oyama, and Mike Kalinowski. I think it's Ben.
I voted for Ben.
The only thing holding him back is he had a somewhat embarrassing loss to Mike. But even then, it wasn't that.
He had a glorious win later.
Yeah. Well, it's only embarrassing, and I know Ben says it a lot, because they don't respect Mike as much as a player, and him losing shouldn't have happened, even though I love Mike.
I love Mike too.
That's it though, unless I'm mistaken.
The real answer here, guys, is KO.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is. It is.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is.
Singles player of the year. Singles.
Oh, yeah, you're right. But yeah, especially Krath. I was thinking there were other different category. Yeah, you're right. Probably.
Yeah. Any argument?
Any hot takes in here? Okay.
No, it's Ben.
Next one.
Right, great. And now we have overall player of the year. Dan Merle, Rachel Cushing, Ben Bateman, Mike Kalinowski, and William Bibiani.
I voted for Rachel.
Same.
I voted for Rachel.
I voted for Mike.
I forget who I voted for. I think I voted for Mike just because he actually played in 3 divisions this year.
And he did well in all 3 divisions.
Yep.
Yeah.
Very well.
Oh,
I
Mike
can imagine how difficult
almost
that is.
happened. It got really close.
Yeah, I mean, same to Rachel. She played in all 3 divisions and did extremely well. At the beginning of the season, she ended up similarly with 2 belts.
No, she didn't play this year.
I'm sorry?
She didn't play in singles this year.
Okay, yeah, but I mean, like, in general, she's had, she's done very well in singles as well. Damn, but my heart just told me to go with Rachel, but I feel like this was also the year of Smets. Sorry, not Smets. This was the year of KO.
Yeah,
as well.
Absolutely, for sure.
Yeah. And just to appear unbiased, I think Dan has a really good push as well because he did win the title again. Don't forget, on a perfect game.
Mm-hmm.
His TKO to Oyama, I still don't understand how that happened, but that was honestly just not his day. And then
it happened.
Yeah, just something happened. And then his team's play has been really good. Yes, he lost to Corruption twice, but he's never really played a bad game.
Mm-hmm.
Like, Dan had a great year. I think what we're looking at is, unfortunately, IG has a massive influence. When we look at how players play games, IG is weighted a lot heavier because of how much tougher the competition is. And I think that's why we have Rachel and Mike so far and ahead of everyone else in consideration.
Yeah, which could change for next year because we have Dan going into IG, so he's doing all 3 next year probably. So
Dan might not play in singles, as we see from the number 1 contender match that's been announced. If he does, though, no doubt, I think that like Dan has it next year.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's Mike for sure.
I do too.
All right, and that is all the categories. Yeah.
All right. Well, that was a great discussion about the awards. Any final thoughts before we move on to our next segment?
Action is going to win podcast of the year. That's all.
On that note, I do gotta head out. I know it's like a little bit past midnight for me, and I have to be up at 6:15 tonight. So
wow,
just a handful of hours.
All right.
So thank you so much for having me on, guys. I'm gonna be hosting a match, a really great Schmoebates match coming up on a Wednesday. So please stay tuned. We're gonna have some more information on that here in just a few days. But check that out and follow us on Twitter because I run that Twitter and I will make it awesome. So follow us there. Bye.
Love you, girl. Bye.
All right. So the next segment that we are going to talk about is Schmoedown news.
Ooh.
And this one is going to be just a little different.
Nothing controversial at all.
We're not going to go really into it, but it affected a lot of players in the Schmoedown, people that I adore and care about a lot with the thing that happened with Collider. Like I said, I don't really want to talk about it, but the reason I bring it up is because I want to take this moment to talk about and plug all the amazing people that it did affect, because they are all getting some really good content out there, starting to rev up their own personal projects, and I am excited to see everything they have in store for us coming up. So the first one I'm going to talk about is Mark Riley. I'll leave this on the screen for just a little bit. This is the address to his Patreon. If you have not joined Mark's Patreon, I highly recommend it. I have been part of Mark's Patreon for a while now. There he has the Riley Roundtable. He has this If you go to the $10 tier, he has a writer's room. I'm planning on upgrading actually to that tier where he actually will go over and look at things that you have written, whether it's script or turns out like really anything, write short stories or poems. It's something that not only him, but the rest of the group will go over. And so if you are interested in writing, it is a really great benefit to just have a second set of eyes and some feedback. So definitely check out that if you have not. And he also has gotten his YouTube channel up and going. You just search for Mark Riley and you can find it. Either you guys do Mark Riley's Patreon?
I do not, but I am very ready to subscribe to Mark Riley's Patreon. I cannot wait to be a part of that. There's a whole bunch of stuff that I gotta wait till next month rolls around. I'm sure most of y'all know how that goes. So I'm just waiting to do that, especially now with everything that's going on. And it's been such an amazing thing to hear about his Patreon and other people that we're going to talk about. As soon as we heard the news from Collider, I think that a lot of us kind of rallied around these people to show that we are there for support. And I get it. Some people said some shitty things about fans not supporting you while your show was on, but they're supporting you now that it's gone. But yeah, I mean, that's when people show up. People show up when they need you. And that's what we're all doing. We're showing up now in your time of need. And that's what we're going to do. And so I cannot wait to be a Patreon to Mark Riley's page. I'm super pumped for that.
Yeah. All right. And another one is Roxy Schreier. She has her Patreon up and running. There is the address if you need to write it down. Sometimes it helps to have the actual address and not just search, as I will explain about other people on here because I cannot find them. She also has an amazing YouTube channel. Search her name. She does these great live streams that she is extremely interactive with the chat. Like she'll you can talk to her, send her super chats. She is just a sweetheart. She's such interesting conversations. The people in the chat are almost as entertaining as just watching Roxy herself. I saw Brandy in the chat earlier, and she is there, and she's amazing. So definitely check out Roxy's YouTube channel as well if you have not. I know Danny is a regular in that chat because it's amazing.
I am. Really quickly, I am a big part of the Rockstar Army, and Roxy has been a personality that I have followed for a long time, but I've been a patron of hers for a long time. She does a lot of really neat things on her Patreon. Please go and subscribe to that so you can get there. To watch the growth on her YouTube channel, the way that it just fucking skyrocketed was insane. She also has a Streamlabs, so it's streamlabs.com/Roxy Stryer. You can go and support her there because she does do live streaming on YouTube. She did one today. She did one yesterday. They're going to be a little bit more frequent. And if anyone isn't necessarily familiar between the difference of Streamlabs and Super Chats, Streamlabs does not take away the entire. YouTube takes away a specific percentage of Super Chats, where Streamlabs does not take away that. They do charge you a percentage once a month, but they don't take away the money that you donate to them. So it's very important to start to donate through Streamlabs as opposed to Super Chats because the content creator will get more out of that. So Roxy Stryer has been someone who I've been very supportive of for a very, very long time. She is extremely interactive with the chat. It's really fun. Most of the time, all she's doing on her live stream is just reading what's going on through the chat, and it's hilarious and it's fun. So please go and interact with her on there. She also does a bunch of stuff on YouTube. She's still doing stuff with Screen Junkies and all of that. So it'll be really cool on the SJN network, I believe is what it's called. So go and check her out on all of that. Big fan of Roxy Stryer over here. Whoop, whoop.
Yep, absolutely. I love Roxy.
All right. Bunny's in the chat. I see bunnies in the chat. Get it.
Bunny's in the chat. Bunny raid. Love it. All right. Another channel that I am super excited about. Koi has got his Patreon up and running and his YouTube channel. I actually watched his stream, and I'm a big comic book person. I love comics. I don't get to read them as much as I want to, but I always loved that segment on Heroes is when he talks about comics he's currently reading and really enjoying. And that's what he's going to talk about. He wants to talk about comics and comic movies. And he even mentioned workouts and exercise and stuff, which I'm trying to get back into doing. So combining all those things together is like the perfect mix for me. So I am extremely excited for his YouTube channel and watching his streams and hanging out in the chat for those because we love Koi. Gotta love some Koi. He's the best. All right. And let's see. Another person you should be following is John Roca. He has also got his YouTube up and going and his Patreon as well. He does still have the top 10 Patreon, so you can look into that one as well. I am signing up for all of these patrons come when I get paid, and I am excited to see the content he's putting out. I watched his live stream, and it was really entertaining. James. And I am excited. I've always do enjoy him in a discussion about film and things like that, just getting to hear his singular opinion. I haven't actually watched him just by himself talking, but when he's not in a group, it's actually interesting just to hear him just go talking about the subject he's talking about. So I'm excited. I am definitely subscribed, and yeah, don't forget to join his Patreon.
Yeah, John Roca is a very knowledgeable person inside of the industry. He's a very
Absolutely.
smart person in the industry, and I think it's a James. I think he's a great person to support. Absolutely, 100%.
Yeah, for sure.
I can't be aggressive, so I'll be passive aggressive.
All right, another person you should be checking out, Ken Knapsack. We love him. He also has a Patreon that you should be supporting. Ken is just he's one of the smartest human beings I feel like I've ever talked to. Talking to him about Star Wars a little bit after Spectacular, I could talk to him all day. He is so smart and funny and passionate about what he's interested in, and absolutely check out his Patreon. I know I am signing up when I do my big sign up coming up soon, because yeah, Ken's the best.
Okay, y'all, I'm not you can ask anyone on this channel. If it doesn't matter if my lightsaber is right there, it doesn't matter. I'm not the most into Star Wars as much as it is, but I just pulled up my Audible right now because this is my absolute favorite thing to listen to. I listen to this every single night while I go to sleep because it's my background noise, and it's what's helped me get more involved into the Star Wars universe. It's Ken Knapsack's book, Why We Love Star Wars. He does the audio for it. It's an amazing book. It's really fun. If you're a fan of nostalgia in any sort of way, it doesn't even matter. Like, I don't even know half of these stories that he's talking about, but the way that he talks about them makes me cry when I listen to it. So it's just a lot of fun to listen to. So definitely support Ken with everything and get his book because it's one of the best books that you can listen to. It's one of my favorite things to listen to. Honestly, it really is.
I love his book. I listened to the audiobook as well. He has a very good audiobook voice. Like, I love the fact that he did it. I mean, it would have been enjoyable if anyone had, because it's a good book, but in his voice, in his words, it's so good. And I love Star Wars. I talk about Star Wars constantly, but he can make scenes that even I never really paid attention to. It just seemed like a regular scene in the movies means so much more hearing like how he interpreted it, where it's like, wow, now suddenly that scene means more to me now that I watch it after reading the book. It's such a good book. If you have not read it, please do. It's amazing.
I don't want to take away from anything, but I am seeing something in the chat about Paul having to break some news to people. Yeah. I'm not one of the people that Paul has broken this news to, so we'll apparently get to that later. Kelsey, keep going, because I want to know what Paul's talking about later.
Okay.
Well, on Patreon, stupid. I don't know what's going on at all right now.
All right. Well, the next one I'm going to talk about isn't a Patreon. It's Ko-fi. I had never heard about this until I found out because of Emma, but it's really cool. So you pay about the amount a month that would be like a cup of coffee, and it goes directly to the person like instantly. So like if you send it, they get it almost instantly, which is really cool. So please go support Emma there because she deserves it. She is one of a great content provider out on the interweb, and I love everything she does. So please support Emma because Emma's the best. We love Emma. All right. And then the final one I have on here is Alex. He has his own website about all his amazing music. Seriously, like, go check it out. He is a great artist and a great human being. And please support him because he is a hard worker and deserves it for sure.
Yeah, y'all, don't forget that Emmy, okay?
Heck yes. All right. Well, that is what I had prepared for news. If anyone has, apparently, is there news happening in the chat right now?
I think Paul gave it away.
Roka's news. He said, "Sigh, yes, I accidentally signed up for Roka's Patreon with the Action Industries account."
And Ben's card.
I was about to say, Paul, it's not a big deal. And then I read the second half of it.
You know what? At least you're supporting Billy Belfort like you said you were supposed to.
Well, there's now a job opening for Action Industry. So
Well,
get your
Hello,
resumes,
Ben. I have
get it
great words
through.
with everybody. Give me a
That
promotion.
is hilarious. Oh my gosh. It is anyone who is a part of the Action Army. Please don't feel bad for supporting John Roca. Do feel bad if you use someone else's card when you're not supposed to.
Support Schmoedown
John Sullivan in
senators,
the chat.
not on other people's credit cards.
No, don't do
You
that.
guys are
Don't do
allowed to like John Roca. It has been here is our decree. You can go support him on Patreon.
Please do.
Yeah.
No one has ever told anyone to not support John Roca. I'm sorry. I'm just gonna say that really quickly.
I
Burnett
used
over here.
back when
Okay,
I
I
had
was
a
wrong.
job.
There's no opening.
Back when I had a job, I did support the top 10 Patreon, and I really liked. I enjoyed the early stuff. I enjoyed the content they put out. I unfortunately don't have the money right now to support everyone, but the top 10 Patreon is a very good investment. They put out a lot of great content.
I
if
love
you like
top
John
10.
Roca, go support them.
They're so great. All right.
Eric,
so I
it's
think
not. It's fine, Eric. It's not. Keep going.
All right. I think that's the end of news. So our next segment is Call to the Network. Woo! Where we talk about all the things we have planned on this channel this week. All right, so starting with tomorrow, Danny, what do we have planned tomorrow?
What's up, y'all? Alrighty, happy Monday, because where I am, it is officially Monday, so happy Monday to everyone. Chill to Action for the Call to the Network segment. Chill to Action is now officially moving over to Monday nights. We used to be on Sundays, but schedule-wise, it just works out a little bit better for us to do Mondays. So we're going to switch over to Monday nights. We're going to be at the same time. We're going to be at 8:30 Pacific Standard Time, 10:30 Central Time, 11:30 Eastern Time. I believe that's what it is that I just said. And that's when we're moving over to chill. So tomorrow on Monday night, we do have all of the reactors and after shows that are nominated for the 2019 Schmoedown Awards coming on. So like I said, and a few other things, Abby Friel, Albert, we're going to have Kristen Smith from Take 3, and we're going to have Chris Doman from D2A coming in. I always forget their name. I just don't know who they are. I'm sorry. I just don't know who they are. So Chris Doman from D2A is coming in for that chat also. So it'll be me and Paul and the four of them on there for the last episode of what I lovingly call season 1 of Chill to Action. That'll be the last time that you see that specific format. After that, we are going into a slightly different change into Chill to Action that we're all very super excited for. I don't know why James is laughing at me.
Lucas's comment. I still maintain that Chill to Action is only having all these other reactors on so that they can red wedding them.
I saw that earlier. We're not trying to red wedding anyone. I appreciate that because I'm a huge Game of Thrones fan. I'm not going to point out all of my books right now.
When this stream is titled Reigns of Castamere, do not join.
Yeah. That's that. There you go.
There's a leave studio button. Click it if the song comes up.
If you hear Reigns of Castamere, that's the only time that you should be worried. But if you hear The Bear and the Maiden Fair, you are in good shape, my friend. It's no big deal. But Chill to Action is on Mondays from now on, and we are going to switch that over. I do not know if Paul, who is in the chat, wants me to say who's coming on in the next couple of weeks after that. So if I can, I'm going to wait because I know that we're kind of on a simple little bit of lagging time, but I also don't want to take up too much time. But that is it. That is all that I have for Chill to Action.
I do like the Louise question, though. We would be asking everybody if I am a gaping chest wound.
Well, you know what, y'all? And Paul can say that I can speak for myself. That's right. This might be the last time that we use the gaping chest wound. We'll see.
I'm not getting murdered?
Paul might not let me do that.
When you have Paul Yama on for the second time, he's going to be very disappointed.
No. that is Paul's thing, but it is my show, so we will see how that goes on that. Okay, so we might ask every individual about the gaping chest wound for sure. Actually, for sure we are.
Abby, I swear to God, if you pick gaping chest wound, I'm so mad. Dumb or whatever. Abby, I swear to God.
Oh, all right. Well, Alex isn't here, so I will plug. I'm not sure exactly which time, but Wednesday there will be, as she mentioned earlier, Schmoedown. So I will be the co-host of that episode. So you will get to see me trying to keep the time for going and try to do conversation while I'm frantically writing notes, which is the standard of that show. I love Schmoedown. I love being on Schmoedown. I'm very happy Alex has kind of asked me to be a somewhat regular co-host because I am available on Wednesdays and I love it and it's a lot of fun. So check us out. We're still working on our competitors, but just make sure check out Schmoedown because it's the best. It really is. And then coming up later in the week, I am actually not entirely sure what we are doing, if we are going to have a regular live episode or not, because we're going to be at the awards on Saturday. I'll be driving back home on Sunday, which is our usual time. So we may try to work it out where people who aren't going do an episode, but we'll let you know. We'll post it on the social medias and let you know when we know. All right.
We do have a Chill to Action coming that Monday after the awards. So Chill is not taking a break. I do not get any sort of rest at all.
we can host a call episode talking about why Warrior is the greatest film of all time.
At some point, I will watch Warrior, and then we will be able to talk about that.
At some point in the next 5 days, you will watch Warrior.
Maybe that's what we should do for a ladies' night watch-along, is watch-along Warrior.
Because we have been doing watch-alongs since we've been doing ladies' night.
Yep. That's an idea.
Real quickly.
All right. Yeah, ladies' night. We don't have one set in stone yet, but we are trying to get them to be a little bit more regular, so keep your eyes out for that as well. I think that's all for Call to the Network. So our last segment of the evening is questions from the chat.
Oh, I forgot we had this segment.
Oh, yeah, you forgot.
Ask no questions.
So if you have any questions, it could be Schmoedown related or not. We like talking about movies. We like talking about music. We like talking about food. We like talking about food a lot. We talked about food a lot on the ladies' night.
While you all get your chats ready, Paul did give me permission. I can see it right there in the chat. You can announce that one. So the Monday after Schmoedown Awards, we will be having the one, the only, the kid. That's sweet. Wait, James, do it. Do it. That.
Fine, young tenderoni.
Woo!
Mr. Brendan Meyer will be on Chill to Action Monday after the awards, so make sure that you check us out for that because that will be the first episode of season 2 of Chill to Action. That's right. Fuck y'all. I broke it up into seasons. We did it.
Can the third host for that episode be Brad Gilmore?
Unfortunately, I wish it could be, but Brad refuses to be on Chill to Action for whatever reason, even though
and then blames us for it. Like, what?
And then pulls the shit that he did, but whatever. No. Brad Gilmore will not be on that. Brad Gilmore, come on, Chill. Here is your official invitation. If you have not heard it from any other channel, and with this noise that was on Twitter and all of that stuff, Brad Gilmore, here's your official invitation. Come on, Chill to Action, my dude. Texas forever.
All right, we have a great question from the chat. Here's my question. I missed the entire first hour minutes of this.
So, here you go, Chris, I can recap it. Andrew Ghai is the greatest of all time. Matt Kalinowski is winning anything Andrew Ghai doesn't win. The Shy Wolves is the greatest team of all time, and Video Drew is the future.
Wow, James actually did it.
Yeah. Oh, and sign up for Patreon. Sign up for everybody's Patreon. There we go.
Sign up for everybody's Patreon, guys.
All of them, please, really do.
All of the Patreons, all of the dollars.
All right. And I saw another question, but it went down. Okay, there we go. What are some of your out there Oscar predictions? James, do you have some opinions?
James
wait, out there predictions. So here's my prediction. Oh, yeah. Supporting actors is a really weird category. I'm really hoping some outside of the park ones get in. Billie Lourd deserves to win, and she's not even getting a nomination anywhere. It is heresy. She gives one of the best supporting actress performances of the decade. I would know. I am making that list as we speak. And her getting cut is a travesty.
Yeah.
I
I don't
also
know.
joke. Oh, go ahead.
I was say, like, I don't know if this is out there or not. I want Adam Driver to get Best Actor this year. Like, not just for Marriage Story, because that's what he's on for. He should get it for that. But if you encompass the whole year, this was Adam Driver's year for me, and I feel like they should do a little bit of a, well, let's not officially think about the entire year, but you kind of do, and give it to him because he's amazing. And I mean, that's the only reason I want him to win is because he's good, not other reasons.
Yeah, I did not watch enough movies in 2019 to make a good statement on this. I do think that Florence Pugh is amazing, and that's it.
I have their prediction. The Academy hates Little Women and won't nominate it for anything because they're wrong.
It also came out late in the year, but I don't know how all of that works, but it doesn't matter. But
1970 hasn't
no
even
more
come
talk
out
about
yet.
Little Women because I still haven't fucking seen it
Little
yet.
Women is so good.
Okay, to change the subject, which biscuit rolls are best for you? Red Lobster, Texas Roadhouse.
Texas Roadhouse.
Wow. Okay. Do y'all have Texas Roadhouse where you're at?
Yes, we
Yes.
do. Texas Roadhouse has the best bread anywhere, period. End of discussion.
I'm voting Red Lobster. I freaking love their Sugar Bay biscuit.
No. Okay. Here's the deal. Here's the real fucking deal, y'all. Biscuits, Red Lobster. Rolls, Texas Roadhouse. How can you separate them in any sort of way? A biscuit and a roll are two different fucking things.
I haven't
Biscuits,
eaten
Red Lobster, rolls, Texas Roadhouse.
I haven't eaten Red Lobster since I was 8 and I have lobster mac and cheese and I hate it because
Cheddar
it's
biscuit?
disgusting. But Texas Roadhouse has the best bread at any restaurant ever.
And their rolls, they're not biscuits.
Yeah.
They don't have biscuits at Texas Roadhouse. Anyways, Jillian Marie in the chat at 12:33 asked, drink of choice at the awards, girl, whatever they have. Woo!
Okay, drink of choice they don't have. It's called White Claw. They don't have it. So whatever someone else is willing to like bring me, if I don't have to ask for it, is good because I like surprises.
I love a nice Arnold Palmer. 50% iced tea, 50% lemonade,
That's
zero
right,
pulp.
James.
If you like pulp, you're a fucking demon. Other than
Oh, fuck you. I'm sorry. Pulp
that,
is
you
where-
like pulp?
mild pulp is
I
where
like
it's
pulp.
at, bruh. I'm
Pulp
sorry.
is
I
like
like
killing
pulp.
your ice cream. It's sin.
All right, another question from the chat. When is C2A going to have a Patreon?
That's a good question. That's a good question that we have all talked about for a very long
It has
time.
come up.
We are all very tied up in a bunch of other things. All of us have jobs. All of us have different things. And the content that we put out for most of YouTube and for most of what we do is already out there on public. So to create content that's specific for a paywall is a big thing that we have all talked about for honestly quite a while, that we just don't necessarily feel like we're completely ready for. Maybe sometime in 2020 we can all come back to that discussion, but right now it's just kind of a matter of time and with what we're doing, and we're all trying to figure that out. But we don't necessarily feel, and I'm speaking for the group right now, and I'm sorry these other two people can speak as well, but for the group, we don't necessarily feel like we're at that point to where we deserve a Patreon.
Yep. No, I'm there too. I feel like we put out great content, but to put out enough content to justify Patreon, that's a lot, and we aren't there yet. We haven't developed, like, maybe if we develop some ideas, we don't even have ideas really as to what to put at different pay levels and things. So it's a discussion, but we're not.
Even right now, like, this isn't a job to us. Like, I mean, like Patreon is people who have jobs. It's like it's there to like pursue it. We do this because we enjoy it. Having a Patreon suddenly changes how we perceive the entire channel.
I'm sorry that I have to do this on the air, but I'm gonna go against that statement because I dedicate myself to this podcast just as much as I dedicate myself to my actual job. I've sacrificed a lot in my personal life to be here for this podcast and do different things like that, especially when it comes to Chill to Action. Paul and I have worked very hard to make that show what it is, and to dedicate my entire day to get specific things ready for the channel does feel like a job for me. But I understand where James is coming from that point, because it's not necessarily something that we prioritize. Because if I wanted to, not thank you, Paul. Paul is being a dark shadow right now. That's
shadow right now.
A job that it's a job that we love, and it's a job that we do behind the scenes, and a job that we do dedicate our time to. So we do kind of, most of us do kind of look at it as a job in a different sort of way. But it's just not something that we feel in that sort of sense that prioritizes our life in that sort of way, because I didn't have to be here tonight. I chose to be here tonight, but I'm not obligated to be here tonight.
Absolutely.
And that's James's point.
Yeah.
But also, like, the Schmoedown art still needs so much. I don't see why we should ask for money when really, for a show we love, please go
put the money over there.
More.
Right.
Yes, we would love a new
Patreon over there.
People to get paid to do this because they get paid practically nothing, and they deserve so much for all the work they put in. Look at how people break down during matches, all the studying they put in.
100%.
They deserve so much. And I love you guys. I love everyone on this team. We don't deserve what the Schmoedown deserves. They are so
agreed.
Please support them more.
All right. Next question. If they reboot Star Wars, let's say in 50 to 100 years, should they start with A New Hope or Phantom Menace? I'll start. I think they should do the Phantom. I don't want them to do it, but let's say they did. I'd want them to start with the Phantom Menace because it'd just be just from beginning to end. But I would die if they did it. Not really.
Oh, James.
I'd feel like it.
So Phantom Menace is flawed, but it functions. You do not touch original trilogy. My pitch: remake the sequel trilogy into a miniseries, because it fundamentally does not work as a story. So much has gone wrong in every aspect of its storytelling. Take the bones, make a new story with new actors, and make the finale that people want. I'm fine with Phantom Menace existing. I'm fine with Attack of the Clones because it functions. It works in telling a story, and it's somewhat compelling. But yeah, leave them as is. Don't remake that. Sequel trilogy, please touch, for the love of God. See, Paul gets it.
It shouldn't be touched. It shouldn't be touched. I understand that Disney loves its remakes, and it's working well on that because they just get to regurgitate the money that they make, and that's the industry that it is, and that's what capitalism is. But there definitely does not need to be remakes of anything that is already in Star Wars canon. And I'm out of everyone in this podcast, I believe, maybe with the exception of Alex, I'm the least knowledgeable in Star Wars. I still consider myself a Star Wars fan because I love the movies and I love the fandom, and I'm a big person who enjoys fandom. But as a person who was inducted in and introduced to this a long time ago, before the prequels came out, all of my closest friends, and I'm going to say real friends, not my internet friends like all of you are. I love you all so much. But all of the people who I have actual interactions with in real life have been Star Wars fans. And so I've been around Star Wars for a long time, and the fandom is very toxic, and that was why I stayed away from it for a long time. But kind of jumping back into it right now, and what I know about the series and what I've learned in this past year for Star Wars, it doesn't need to be remade. But no, I don't even want to answer that question. It doesn't need to be remade.
All right. Another question. What state should I fly to when I fly to the U.S.?
California. Let me hang out with you, Malcolm.
Yeah. I guess we're just going to say our own states, because I'm going to say Utah because A, I'm here. B, we have beautiful Red Rocks that many films have been filmed at, so you can actually see what you've seen in movies before. Bryce Canyon, the Arches, Canyonlands. Plus, we have really good ski mountains here. It's a good destination.
Okay. But you know what's in California? Myself, the Schmoedown, and Adam Driver. Come to California.
All right.
Adam Driver lives in New York.
Regardless if I'm in Texas, regardless if the fanatics are in Texas, honestly, if I'm going to pick a state, my favorite, I have the wonderful opportunity with my job that I get to travel all over the United States. And one of my absolute favorite places that I've ever been to is Kansas City. I love Kansas City. I'm so sorry. Whatever. Texas blasphemy. The barbecue is not better. The barbecue is not better in Kansas City. It's not. I'm sorry. It's fucking not. But Kansas City is beautiful. I love it over there. It's wonderful. Kansas City would be my other answer, other than coming to Austin, Texas.
unbiased, if you want the best time, go to Maine because you have all the Stephen King sites to see. As the greatest seafood in the nation, its food in general is just amazing, and its scenery is there's nowhere else in the state that has or in the country that has anything like it. It is a perfect state. Aside from it's sort of boring.
All right, next question. Jameson or Jack Daniels?
I love a great Arnold Palmer. It's 50% iced tea, 50% lemonade with zero pulp. 'cause I'm not Satan.
Jameson. It's
I'm a
100% Jameson. I'm sorry. I've been a bartender for a very long time. I will choose Jameson over a Jack Daniels shot any day. Give me a Jameson, and I don't care if y'all say it's blasphemy, but give me a Jameson and a pickleback, and I'm good.
All right. Next question. Number 1 movie of the decade.
I can't answer that. I'm sorry.
I got an answer.
Do you have an answer?
Yes, I do.
Okay, what's your answer?
It is Blade Runner 2049.
You pretentious fuck.
Hey, my number 2 is Get Out. So I just love 2017. No, okay, straight up. I think it's a perfect movie, but it's more than perfect. Like I think Die Hard is a perfect movie, but I think this is a step above a regular perfect movie because not only is it flawless, it takes everything up a notch. One of the best scores of the decade, one of the best set designs of the decade. Cinematography is one of the best of all time. Like everything about it feels like a moment. And like I would compare it to like for myself, or not for myself, like it would be Wonder Woman crossing the trenches in No Man's Land. It would be like I was compared to like Black Panther entering Wakanda for the first time. That movie feels like a moment in cinema. Mm-hmm. Like it feels of its own kind and wholly unique.
I can't oppose that because Blade Runner was one of my favorite movies. I'm a big sci-fi fan. I'm a huge sci-fi fan. I found Do Electric Sheep Dream of Dreams, or I can't remember the title. I'm so sorry.
Do Androids Dream of Electric Sheep?
Do Androids Dream of Electric Sheep. I found that book. I read that book. I watched Blade Runner. That was kind of how I went into it. And then 2049 is a great movie. It really, truly is. The acting is really great inside of it. Ana de Armas is one of my favorite people in the entire world, whatever. But I do love that movie. But I also don't feel like it has as much substance as it should. I'm sorry. I if I have to, I can't, because I can't think about these last 10 years, especially because I'm into movies and all of that stuff, but it isn't only until recently that I've allowed myself to really deep dive into movies and stuff like that. I just don't feel like that I can give that proper answer to it. But my favorite movie of 2019 was Midsommar, so there.
Okay, I haven't said mine yet. So, okay, this isn't even in my top of the year, but I'm gonna say Infinity War, because just what it did, it was a combination of 10 years to make like the lead up to that film, and just what it meant for me as a comic book fan. Like quality of movie itself, I did like other movies that last year or a couple years ago better, but it's just what that movie meant. It's amazing. So I guess I'd say that one.
I do want to make one small note to Danny. I think what makes Blade Runner and Blade Runner 2049 special is how the themes resonate with you, because they tackle a lot of the same things. As someone who's not a fan of the original Blade Runner, I think the subtext and the content of 2049 resonates with me more, which is why I think it's so special. If you're partial to the original, maybe it can ring hollow and not be as special. That's just my theory. I think that the topics it brings up are very well discussed. And
I think everything that I loved about 2049 was because of everything that I loved in the original movie. The Blade Runner is one of my absolute favorite movies. The Fifth Element is one of my absolute fucking favorite movies ever. Sci-fi is something that I've always been super... Whatever. I'm not going to go into it right now.
It's a very different realm of sci-fi. It was interesting.
Not going to get into that right now. It is what it is. It is what it is, but I would like to just point out something in the chat. Paul, you did not specify Gentleman Jack. You just said Jack Daniels and not Gentleman Jack. So there's a difference between the two, just like there's a difference between Jameson castmates. But it is what it is. That's all. Go to the next one.
So
All
short
right.
answer, Cats is the best movie of the decade.
All right, who's your favorite Doctor? I'm going to assume my nerd card's going to be taken away, but I don't watch Doctor Who.
I don't watch Doctor Who either.
I've tried and I just couldn't get into it.
My favorite doctor is my pediatrician. He was very nice and gave me lollipops.
Let's see if there's any other questions.
Sorry.
I knew I saw one. Oh, favorite song of 2019.
Lover by Taylor Swift. But my Spotify will say Truth Hurts by Lizzo.
I don't really listen to much songs from this decade. I pretty much just movie scores for the most part.
Let me check my playlist really quick.
Don't get us in trouble.
This is a little throwback.
Don't play music.
If you guys can, go back and check out the least viewed video on this channel. Me and Danny talk about our best songs from last year, where you can find out my favorite artist based like right now, sort of all time, is Taylor Jansen. She released an EP this last year, which I loved, and then she released a song earlier this year titled. Give me 1 second while I pull it up. Shouting Matches. That's my favorite song of the year because she is maybe I think the greatest like roots type of artist. Like it's very deep and personal and simple. Check her out, Taylor Janzen. Absolute perfect music. Got it.
Okay. All right. I am not seeing any more questions in the chat. So unless I see one pop up in a second,
Jack Fire is not good. I'm sorry.
Have you ever danced with the devil in the pale moonlight?
I have finished Batman 89. I really don't like it.
Every night. Every night.
Yeah.
David.
All right. Well, I think this is it. Well, thank you so much for joining us on episode 61, but the first official episode of Call to Action Live. We're so happy to have you here. And I mean, it's been a great episode. I'm so excited to actually go to the awards and see how accurately we predicted things and, maybe possibly find out if we may have won something. I mean, that's going to be fun too.
David B said Bayside's album was really good. It really was. It really, truly was. I'm going to cry. All right. Sorry. That's it.
All right. Well, James, tell people where they can find you.
You can find me on Twitter at TemekU Film Nerd. That is at TEMEKU Film Nerd. Also, keep an eye out for announcements I have pretty soon. Fun side note, I am starting a podcast really soon and possibly a new show on this channel also soon, but that's in development. I have a lot of new stuff coming in, so please like me. I need support for all my shows I'm putting out because it'll be great content, hopefully. And follow me on Twitter.
All right. And Danny, where can people find you?
First, before hopefully I finish my little spiel, Robert Adams says he has a question, and I would like to know what it is.
What are y'all doing on Tuesday night?
What are we doing on Tuesday night?
We'll be watching the Cinefanatic stream talking about the top 10 movies of the decade. I see what you're doing, Robert.
Depends on what time it is, because I have to take my mom to go see Star Wars that night. Because she hasn't seen it yet. We'll see. I'm going to try and be there. People will be on my phone, be that person in the back corner being like, okay.
I don't know my work schedule at the time. I'm sorry, but more than likely, thank you, David. More than likely, I will be tuning into that stream. But you know where to find me. You can find me on Twitter at Danny Joy right here. Boop, 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 boop. That's where it is. You can find me every Monday in the new year 2020 on the Call to Action Network with my dear friend, my dear sweet, my favorite co-host, my work husband, Mr. Paul Denuzio on Chill to Action, where we love to interview Schmoedown competitors, Schmoedown personalities, all of that good stuff. We can't wait to have every single one of y'all on this year. 2020 is going to be a great year for Chill. You can find me also on the Call to Action Network doing Call Live, hopefully into Schmoebate sometime. Ladies Night, we got Ladies Night coming to you. Maybe it's a bi-weekly sort of thing, maybe once a month. We're trying to figure all of that stuff out, but we will bring Ladies Night content to you as well, and that's with me, Miss Kelsey, right up there, and Miss Alex. You can find us there and all of that. You can find me in all of the Action Army chats, anything like that. You can find me there. You can find me on the Facebook page, whatever. Please reach out, hang out with me, talk to me. I need a social life. Thank you.
Small question. How many wives does Paul have?
5.
Paul's got a lot of wives.
Put it down, Danielle.
Oh!
Oh, no.
John Rogan has gotten to you. He's taking one of our own.
Wow. I'm sorry.
All right, and just say something in the chat. I'm sorry, Chris. It's never intentional for me to miss your streams. Like I said, I'll try to be there. I'll probably at least get to catch the back of it, I'm hoping, because I like your guys' stream. So hopefully to be there. Lucas is asking real quick in the chat if all future Ladies Night episodes will be the same length as the last one. Yes, they will all be 5 to 6 hours. No, we aim for an hour and a half. That's going to be the goal. Like hour and a half. That's the goal. But, enough White Claw, we'll see what happens.
Wait, Danielle, how many hours did it go?
I was only in there for 1.5 hours. I'm so sorry. I'm very sad that I had to leave that Ladies Night episode, but that Ladies Night episode, y'all, went for 5 hours. 5 and some change.
5 and some change.
How many? How many? That many hours?
No one's putting up any hand symbols right now.
We're not Dylan.
All right. Well, you can find me at KelseyKins90 on Twitter and Instagram. I also run the Call to Action podcast Instagram, so you can interact with me there and see things I post. TeePublic, we've got merch. I would like to get a little bit more merch out there for some other of our shows, frankly, because I wouldn't be able to buy them. That's the only real reason. So hopefully we'll have some more merch soon. You can also find me. We've been in hiatus because of the holidays, but I am on a show called Adventures of Transvale. It's a D&D show, and it's pretty great. My character is a lush, so I drink lots of wine in real life, and then it affects how well I play the game, so I'm not very good. But it's a lot of fun, so make sure to check me out there. And James is on there too. I mean,
I'm a horse.
He's not helpful, but he's there. And we will. And we want to thank you all for being here for us. We love you guys, and we will see you tomorrow for a chill. So bye, everybody.
Gaping chest wound out.
And now it's just an awkward time.